Praise and power. Praise and power all. We're going to get a little bit adjusted so I can make sure everyone can see good and I'm positioned where I can interact with you all Saturday morning, at least in our time slot. Good morning, great risings, happy moment of harmony. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for another moment. We are so excited. I know I am always to come to this point in my week in order to release what it is that I do not need and to pick up the energy, the motivation, and the love I need for the healing in my life. So trust me, this platform, this forum, this series does not only work for you, it absolutely is a reciprocal energy that happens with these moments. So I'm excited to be here with you today on this weekend. I'm excited for us to get this moment on. So let's get it going. This moment this week is called The Moment. It's called The Moment. And we're in the midst of a 32-week series. Peace, brother. I love you. We've been on that's my big brother. We've been on a 32-week series entitled A Matter of Moments, which will also be in the title of a book that's going to be released at the end of this series. And it's going to be a book made up of all that we've talked about over these 32 weeks. And I think we are on week number 7 or 8. Last time I took a shot at the week we're at, and I was wrong. So probably shouldn't take a shot at it this week. But we're at about 7 or 8 with the weeks, and I can confirm that definitely by our next show. But we're this week is entitled The Moment. And again, it's from the series A Matter of Moments. Good morning, honey. I love you. A Matter of Moments. So this moment is entitled The Moment. We did unforgettable moments last week, and now we're ready to move right into this one. Thank you all for being here. I definitely want to thank my Moments members who came together for our in-person moment in June. I cannot wait to see you all in July. I have some really fun summer stuff in line for us. So thanks to everyone that came together for us to paint, for us to pray, for us to paint our pain away. It was real and I loved it. So remember that if you ever want to you live in the DMV area, you right here in Baltimore, county or city, what have you, you're male, female, young, old, in between. Sometimes we bring our children. Peace, love. I miss you so much. Sometimes we bring our children. We have moments with our husbands. We're going to have some date night moments. It's going to be all of that. You ever want to get your moment in, you need to go beyond this virtual platform and you like, hey, I do need to bond with some like-minded individuals about these moments of healing. Please just DM me and we will definitely get you all set up to be a Moments member, or we will meet all up at the end of the year for our annual prayer and purge. It's all building up to that big old space, and us bonding helps us to be more comfortable in that annual prayer and purge that will be in person this year for the first time and moving forward. So let's get into this moment this week. This moment is called The Moment. I wanted to talk about the moment because I feel like everyone is waiting for that moment in their lives. That moment where everything becomes easier, where the world opens up and things just become better, clearer, change, transformation is like bam, the moment. I wanted to really spend some time on the perspectives that we have on the moment, how it's happening, how do we know these moments are happening, how we embrace these moments, and why these moments are in such divine alignment with our destinies. So many of us are like waiting for that moment, a moment like this, for those who love their Kelly Clarkson, right? A moment we're waiting for, like in her song, she says, some people wait a lifetime for a moment. We wait that moment when we're not struggling, that moment when we're not depressed, that moment to just pop off. And I want to talk about it because those pivotal moments are real. They really do happen. I know with Tina Turner. I would love to use Tina Turner as an example. We know that the day she took that boot off in that limousine and started hitting Ike Turner back, that was a moment for her. That was the moment of breaking this cycle. The moment of no longer living in this reality the way that I am living in it. We know I love, big fan of Sister Girl Queen, Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown didn't even start off doing what she is doing. When she wanted to become, she proclaimed fame, she proclaimed prosperity, but she thought that it was going to be under the realm of acting because that was her skill and what she was putting her energy into. And it came in under her being a TV personality, being vegan, a vegan connoisseur and an educator of that healthy lifestyle. And boom, I just saw her in Towson, her line, her fashion line in Towson. She's having the first vegan cook show ever on the Food Network. The Food Network. She's having an incredible year. She's having an incredible pop, super motivational inspiration. Much love out to her. But that moment, the moment, but when you hear her story, you'll see she went through years of audition, years of health issues, years of no's, years of just not thinking this is promising to her family and her husband that their sacrifices and their faith in her is going to pay off. Years of it. And then the moment. She talks about the moment that changed her life was when she did a vlog for a sandwich on at a Whole Foods. And they loved the way she did it and offered her a contract for some pretty pennies. And boom. So now here she is with, what is it? It's Complicated on the Food Network. But making history, doing great and wonderful things. But the moment came. There was a moment when all of her hard work paid off. There was a moment when where she wasn't going to work for her, and where she was getting to came to fruition. And I'm saying those are those moments. I think about Tyler Perry. I think about hundreds of people who were homeless and then they get that break. They sell that idea. But the moments come also not so always in the realm of fame. That moment also happens in lives of toxicity, right? Jobs you just can't take anymore. A life of domestic violence, molestation, or rape. A life of being used or silenced or ignored. There comes that moment where these epiphany happens, this light bulb goes off, and you realize you can do more, that your dream is more than a dream, that you can have more. You realize you don't have to live like this. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many times, and I can very vividly think specifically about a moment with my youngest son's father where I just was like, I don't have to live like this. It just was it just popped in my mind of like, I'm sitting here for these years wanting more, dreaming about more, asking for more, frustrated about more, about different, about better, about what I deserve. And then I'm thinking about them, but it never really actualizes in my perspective until that moment happens. And it just hits you differently about, I don't have to live like this. I don't want to live like this. I don't want this reality. This is not working for me. That comes in the form of weight. We can try 100,000 diets. We can try all these workout fads. But there's something that clicks. And you get to the point in that moment in your life where you're just like, I don't even have the energy to talk about it, to process it, purge about it, write about it. I just can't even spend one more second in a less than, lack than reality. And that moment happens for you. Sometimes it's someone doing something to you. Sometimes it's seeing someone else as an example or a motivation. Sometimes it's just your level of exhaustion that finally hits you in the mirror on one bathroom morning that's saying like, I can't do it. It's someone acknowledging your greatness, giving you a break, giving you that chance. Someone not giving up on you. The moments my husband loves to talk about, he loves to talk about this. He gives like this story, if you will. It's really kind of metaphoric. And he talks about this story that he learned along his journey about this dog that has a nail in his paw. And he's moaning and groaning about this nail in his paw. And he's crying and wailing about this nail in his paw, but he's sitting on it. And the person that's walking by asks his owner, why is he just, if it hurts so bad, why is he just sitting on it? Why doesn't he just get up off the nail? And his owner says, well, it doesn't hurt bad enough. And it's a very profound story, one of my husband's favorite. I can't tell you, we're 3 months from 6 years. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard that story. But it applies to so much of us living in suffrage, living in pain, living in a less than our means, less than what we're capable of, less than what we're deserving of. Because one, we're waiting for a moment. And moments are possible, but sometimes the moment we're waiting on and that we're looking for, and that's going to be our cue to be better, depends on someone else's moment. That moment will never come because we're waiting for this person to figure it out. We're waiting for our boss to value us and give us that raise and make those financial investments or sacrifices when we're the ones that need to make the investment and the sacrifice. We're waiting on, I know I'm so guilty of waiting on my children to understand that I'm more than just a mom and give me a moment to do what I need to do for myself. I'm waiting on them. I'm waiting on them to figure out what I'm capable of. I'm waiting on their mercy. I'm waiting on their patience. And it's my mercy. It's my patience with self that I'm actually waiting on, that I should be dependent on for that moment. We get into relationships, and some of them are not great. Some of them are just seasons, just reasons, and we're stuck in them longer than we should have been in because we're waiting on the moment. We're waiting on the moment that that person realizes how great we are, how dope we are, how beautiful we are, how valuable we are, how irreplaceable we are. When really the moment is not going to come until we are in the mindset. It's you that you're waiting on for your moment. It's you that you're waiting on for the moment. It's you that needs to give yourself a break. It's you that needs to value yourself. It's you that needs to be able to say, I'm waiting on you to realize how good of a catch I am. And really, I'm waiting on me to realize how good of a catch I am. Because I am, like I always talk about from my facilitator, my previous facilitator that I trained under, he always talks about being the architect of your own destiny. I write the book. I write the story. I'm getting this like Mama Nzinga talked about her call last week. It's not a conference call that the creator's talking to about where I'm going. It wasn't a conference call. We didn't all have a meeting with my friends and my ex and my coworkers and my boss and my husband and my kids. And we didn't all sit at this table and the creator say, look, this is Harmony's mission. This is what she has to do. This is her purpose. This is what's going to bring her healing and greatness. And I need everyone to get in alignment. I need everyone to work with it. I need everyone to give her the time, give her the space, make the environment. That's not what happened. It wasn't a conference call. But I am going through life waiting on a moment like it was a conference call. Like everyone else is going to understand that moment that's coming for me. Like everyone needs to be in alignment with that moment that's coming for me. Like everyone needs to have the same urgency and the same place, the same importance on my moment. And that's not the case. What's going to happen is that I communicated with the creator. We had a meeting with me, myself, and I. And we just had a Zoom. It was us. And then it is now for me to go ahead and be the representative in my life and fight for my moment. It is not me hoping that you understand. It is not me searching for this boom kaboom. All of the people that I named, and there are hundreds of thousands of more of people who went from ideas to motion to magnificent. Right? We have so many greats, and Malcolm and Martin and Nana Newtons and Asada Shakurs. We have those that are around us that may not be so what we call in the movement, but have done all of these works and the progress of life and spirit. We have Yanla. We can go on and on and on about the amount of people we've seen go from nothing to something, starting from the bottom to here, getting towards their moment. And which brings me to our first point in this moment. The moment you are looking for your life to open up, for your life to be what you are in love with, for your life to be what you've dreamed about from a child, the moment that you're waiting for is a matter of moments. That's the first thing. It's a matter of moments. Guys, I cannot tell you, my best friend is on the line and she knows that I am a super prayer. I have extreme faith. I am in love with the Creator and talk to the Creator all the time. I am who I am. I am anything because the Creator is my everything, right? I got that from little Kim some years back, and it's been a part of my prayer ever since. But I'm always, when things start to get crazy, I go and do this like step back, let the Creator take control. I'm always like, look, let it happen. I'm just waiting on my moment. I'm waiting on the Creator to crack the sky open for me. And my best friend is always like, you do know you're going to have to do that, right? She's always finding this very gentle way of reminding me that the Creator is definitely going to move through you, and it's not just going to let it make it happen. And when I get in conflict and I don't want to hurt people's feelings and I don't want to do things that are going to be very tough for me, but I want to move from where I am to the moment, from this moment to the moment. And I go like, when is the Creator just going to do it for me? Just take them away. Just rid my life of this. Just have this person call out of nowhere. And that's possible. That is, we take one step, the Creator will take 10. But what happens is we got to take those steps. That moment comes from my receptivity, from my faith, from my ability to take a risk with the unknown, from my ability to love myself when no one else is loving me, from my ability to trust myself when I don't even have the backing or the lining. That's when I'm opened up to the universe, for the universe to work with me, not for me. The universe is going to work with you, not for you. And a lot of us are waiting for that moment, but that moment is a matter of moments. That moment is made up of many moments. Many moments of your sacrifice, many moments of your faith, many moments of your emotion, many moments of your triumph, many moments of your challenge. Thank you so much. Many, many moments. It is not going to, you're not going to wake up one day and someone is going to say, dang, Mama Harmony is incredible. Can you please, we want to give you a $2 million contract for this show. Won't just happen. It won't just happen before I put up 100,000. Prayerfully, you don't have to be that many of these moments, right? I'm going and doing workshops for many people. I'm exposing myself into many different networks and I'm growing. This is how that moment happens, because in the midst of me getting to my moment, I am becoming magic, and then I manifest that moment. In the midst of me getting to that moment, the motion is creating and invoking my magic, and I manifest that moment. One more time. The moment that I'm looking for, the moment that I'm moving towards, is a matter of many moments. Because when I start the motion, in the midst of getting to that motion moves around my magic, hones my skills, gets me closer to my divine self in order to deal with and take place and take space in what I'm asking for and be prepared for what I'm asking for, then the magic is going to have me manifest that moment. It's a process. the moment, the courage that you're looking for to walk away from that job. My goodness, there were so many lawyers and doctors, so many psychologists and pediatricians and scientists that during COVID realized that they just wanted to be writers and authors. They just wanted to be ballerina dancers or astronauts, and got to the point of just being like, dang, I can't do that because I've dedicated myself to this vision and to this dream and to this way. Your moment is a matter of many moments. And that was a part of those moments that are going to take you to the moment that's going to change your life. The moment that fulfills your purpose and your mission and your destiny. And I say fulfills loosely because we're going to get to that to the end about fulfilling these purposes. Come on, y'all, because it don't happen like that. But just for the sake of where we are right now in our session, I'm going to say the moment that which you don't want to let go of. Well, I spent all these years in school and I've been in this relationships for so long and this I've been a single mom for so long and it's just been a part of who I am. It's just what I've look at what all these years. I'm 36 years old and I've always been a giver and and we don't throw it away. We don't we don't get rid of it. That's part of what gets us to our moments. But we do have to recognize the motion. The motion towards the magic that's going to manifest the moment. Many of us saw Tina Turner didn't just get up that morning and say, "Let him touch me again." That's not what happened that moment. We saw the movie. For some of y'all, like me, you watch the documentaries, you're a fan of Tina. Miss Queen Tina Mama. We know Tina was on her Namyo Renge Q for a very long time before she got to the point of today is the day that you realize I am not your punching bag. I am not here to absorb your trauma. I am not here to be your doormat. She did a lot of praying, a lot of talking to her homegirl on her homegirl being Tina, you don't have to live like this. Tina was up in the hospital. She had been beat. She had been drugged. She had been threatened. She'd been through it. Her moment did not just come. Her moment was a matter of moments. It was the first time she talked back. And yeah, she got hit for that. And the pattern continued. But she had that moment where she was like, had a little smirky comment back. She was finding herself. I'm saying no, that what you're dismissing as not getting to your moment is only not getting to your moment if you're not acknowledging it and intentionally using it to get to your moment. But any step you are in right now is moving you towards that moment as soon as and as long as you remember that it is a matter of moments that gets you to that moment. When enough is enough, when the world opens up, when the just perfect opportunity falls into your lap, and then you just are like, dang. Look how long. Look how much I gave. Look at what I've had to go through. So be not discouraged about is that moment coming for you, because that moment is coming for you as long as you're moving towards that moment. But the moment you stop moving towards that moment, a lot of people don't know because I'm not a big talker. Now, I do talk a lot, but I'm not a big talker about my personal emotional needs, self, and process. So there's so many times when I'm just doing something small. And people are like, you need to get that book or you need to do. Trust that I'm doing something because I understand motion. I understand if it's just me rewriting my outlet, if it's just me writing out my manifestation for where I want to be, if it's just me writing out the next week, because this life can be so demotivating, unmotivating. It can be so demoralizing. It can be, oops, y'all, okay. What happened? Okay, we're back. Y'all, too much motion. I was talking about motion. Knocked the phone and you locked up on me. That was crazy. The more you learn, the more you do. Sorry about that for those Definitely watching in real time and watch it later. That was crazy. But we're back. So yes, but life can be so hard and no one defines your motion. That was the point we were getting to before all my motion knocked over my device. No one defines your motion, but you know if you're not moving. You know if you no longer believe. You know if you're not trying. You know if you're not being intentional. You know when you're just trying to let it happen instead of make it happen. That moment is coming from what you make. A moment is going to come from what you create. So know that your moment depends on you. It depends on you. We know that, right? But sometimes it gets so hard because it's just you start talking to God and you say, when, when is this when is this gonna be enough? When will I have to stop thinking about this? When will I have to stop living like this? When will I have to stop hoping and wishing and praying and reading fortune cookies for my come on, when? And really, it's because we are waiting in peace, Mama Yasli. We are waiting for this moment to happen when it's a moment that we make. And it is a matter of small moments. You are not just in a situation you don't deserve to be in. You're still living a reality beneath your means and your person and your mission, your purpose. You're in a reality that doesn't reflect what it is you see. So you're giving up on what it is you see. So understand it's a matter of moments. That big moment comes. So how do we know that big moment comes? How do we know that this moment is happening? Well, if it's not just going to be like kaboom, one day I have a yacht and a jet and all my children that are adults cars, on my darn private school. That doesn't just work like that. How do I even know I'm no longer, that motion is happening? How do I know? Because I'm seeing patterns and a lot of things that look like me being undervalued. A lot of things that look like still me being abused or neglected. A lot of things that still look like me being stuck. So how can I even know? If you're telling me, Mama Harmony, that this moment I'm waiting on is a matter of little moments that builds to this big moment, and so then that means this miracle moment is not just be like poof, new life, new you. Then how do I even know if I'm dependent on these little moments that resemble my patterns in my past? I don't know if I'm moving forward or if I'm moving in circles. Sometimes they feel like the same thing. I'm weary, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm dizzy. Is this a circle or no? Right? How do we know? When that moment is happening for you, and I said happening because it is a process, it is a matter of moments. When your moment is fruitioning, it will change the way you think, the way you move, and the way you are. Got my little notes over here. It will change the way you think, the way you move, the way you are. Can I look at my bank account if for a for proof of if my moment is happening? No, because sometimes you start that new business and you're on the right track, and that bank account start flourishing, and then you go through a season. Then it's not what you thought it was going to be. So, can you measure by your bank account if your moment is happening? No. Can I measure by the followers and the views on my moments for if my moments is fruitioning? I cannot. I cannot, because sometimes my views are super high and everyone's tuned in, and sometimes people miss their moment that week and I got some medium views. I can't measure that number to say is your moment happening. Can I look at the amount of work I was able to produce from day to day and say I'm on my way as a real estate agent? I'm on my way as a musician. I'm on my way because as a mom, because look what I was able to do. No, that changes. Seasons happen. And we get caught up giving up on our moments and ourselves because we are measuring the process and the fruitioning of our moments. We're measuring it monetarily. We're measuring it quantify all other ways outside of these three measures, and they all come back to self. Just as you would guess, just as duh, 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 duh. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. We keep doing it. It is about us. How do I know if dreams are coming true? Excuse me. I'm in this marriage and I love this man. I love you. Look, this is, y'all know I speak metaphorically. I love my husband. Love my husband. But times can come where we're driving each other crazy. And you can go into like, hey, how do I know if my dreams are coming true? Love my children. Seasons can happen. Things can go down. I make choices and decisions. They can come upon and to them. How do I know if my dreams are coming true? I dropped out of school to pursue this endeavor, and this thing is not even taking off. How do I know if my moment happening? It's coming. How do I know if my dreams are coming true? Because a lot of little nightmares are happening in between time. And like I said, I'm getting confused. Am I moving forward or moving in circles? Because all the symptoms are the same. We cannot externally measure for our again. Y'all ready? We cannot have an external measure for if our purpose is profiting from our process. You can't, it's not gonna work. The measure again, like I said, how I think must be changing, how I move must be changing. That's how I know my moment is coming. Because the time this is okay. The time when I thought I could myself. There was a time when I thought about believing in others more than I believe in myself. There was a time when the thoughts came that I needed validation from others for me to be right where I'm supposed to be. There was a time when I thought like that. There was a time when I thought like that. I thought that I needed this person. I thought that I needed these things. I thought that I was less than. I thought differently about myself. Sorry, y'all. That's how y'all know. I always tell my husband, I'm getting older. I just be choking out of nowhere. Nothing is happening. No dust is flying. I haven't even eaten anything today. Just choking. Age is happening, okay? But I thought differently. Some of us read the book As a Man Thinketh, and we've heard that in the Bible verse, as a man thinketh, so is he. But I know, and I'm saying in alignment right with those ideologies, those thoughts, is that when your thoughts begin to change, your moment is happening. When your thoughts change about food, when they change about diet, when they change about romance, relationship, when they change about sisterhood, when they change about money, work, career, life, purpose, direction, creation. When your thoughts start to change, your moment is happening. When the way you move starts to change, right? I would call this person up and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that. Or I'm going to send this long text to my husband. Or we going to go, me and my husband, we can go and send some icing each other out, get upset with each other, silent treatments because we're stubborn. The two of us, my husband calls us the elephant and the rhinoceros. Whoo, and that's accurate. But when we begin to grow, when we begin to say this doesn't work for us, when we begin to master more, move more towards the marriage that we desire, it became a matter of thought. Yes, I'm angry, but good night. Yes, I'm upset with you, but I love you and I hope you're having a great day. And sometimes we're still in those thought processes. But then we move differently. We move. I want to be real petty right now. I want to say something. I want to yell. I want to do something. I want to send a message. I want to teach a lesson. But then it's like, I get to the point where I don't even want to do that anymore. I really want you to understand, not my anger, but my perspective. And I want to find another way to help that get across. I want to move differently. I want to have a conversation rather than having an argument. When I go into work, I might get there when I get there because I hate this job. But when my moment is happening, I don't get there when I get there. I set a schedule for myself. I focus on time differently so that before my entire day, a time that then brings about the best of my reality, a time frame, a day that brings about that for me. Ashe. So get to a point where I move differently. I move and I think less on what happens out there. And I move and I think about what's happening in here. And that's how I know my moment is coming. My moment is coming. I moved there. I'm going to bed earlier. I'm drinking more water. This art. I'm working after work. I'm praying after prayers. I'm giving after giving because my moment is coming. I know because I move differently. I'm not even going to sit here and have this conversation with you. I'm not walking up into no environment with no ill will and no anxiety. I'm going in with myself with the best joy I can muster because I move differently. My moment is coming. My moment is coming. That's how I know. I used to think when I know I was going to dinner with the family, oh, we going to be like this. Or it's going to be, well, let me get my food before it goes off and we got to leave early. I don't even think like that anymore. When I come to be around my family, I think love. I think prosperity. I pray. I move differently. I think differently. And when I get there, I am somebody different. Because my moment is coming. Moment when the prayer is well done. The moment when God cracks open like I'm waiting on. The moment when that miracle manifests. The moment when that happens. When your grandmother or your aunt or your uncle says something a little different that acknowledges that I'm not even gonna say acknowledge because we don't need that. Reflects. That's the word. That reflects that my moment is coming. It reflects my movement. My marriage begins to reflect my movement and my thoughts and my place. My money begins to reflect that I think different about it. That I'm moving different about it. My moment is coming. So I'm not getting discouraged that the big moment didn't happen. I'm remembering it's a matter of moments. And as I'm embarking on these moments that sometimes look like past moments, that sometimes look like paralyzed moments, that sometimes look like slow motion moments, Lord knows, I am remembering I'm not measuring my moment by this one moment. I'm measuring this moment on many moments that reflect my bigger moment. And those many moments are showing me you have not stopped, don't stop, won't stop, can't stop, watch me. You have not stopped moving. You have not stopped working. You have not stopped praying. You have not stopped believing. You have not stopped doing. Therefore, your moment, you're in the midst of it. And because you are moving in this direction, you are believing in this direction, you on your your renge Q. He might still be popping you from time to time. Metaphorically speaking, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. But if that's where you are, know that that's happening to you. The motion is getting you to that moment. Not, he is not his moment of revelation. His moment of recognition. You're not waiting on her moment of movement. You are moving. You are doing the moving moment. Wasn't a conference call. Everyone's not in alignment. Only people that are going to be in alignment is the people that you set an example for. And you say, this is what we're doing. Just now, look, when I tell y'all so many years being a dedicated, super devoted, 100% hands-on mom has slowed me down. I was about to use another word, but it has slowed me down from the moments I am desiring. until I can make little choices of motion. Just as I was coming on to do this moment, my 16-year-old FaceTime me. No, I'm trying to set up my. Y'all know what I'm doing on Saturday mornings. I'm trying to set my screen up. I'm trying to get the moment going. And my 16-year-old, Mom, can you take me to football? You know what? It hurt me. But I had to say, baby, I'm about to do my moment. You know I got to do my moment, right? I'll call you afterwards. I hope you don't miss your opportunity, but I can try to work you in afterwards. Y'all, when I tell you how monumental that is for me as a mom, because I never have told my children no. I've always had guilt in being a single mother that I must be everything at all times. And I must always show up for them and they cannot miss a beat. And I still am in that mode, programmed in that mode. And I now have to say, no, not now. Yes, take her. Yes. And I'm still working towards that for my little bit of writing I can do here and there, or my little bit of thoughts I can put. It is a matter of moments. The moment isn't going to fall out the sky, but I am going to have to create it. I'm going to have to appreciate the moments I am, make them matter and count towards the bigger moment. And I am going to not have to measure by what I was measuring by that was discouraging me, hurting me, and setting me back. I'm going to have to measure by where I am now. And now I think it's okay to say, babe, you on a bus. I think differently. I'm thinking, y'all. It's still a process working on me. And a lot of us are in that boat. I'm thinking, hey, I'm now in a place. Last night, my grandgirl wanted to, I know that's right, honey. Look, my husband does not have as hard a time as me thinking about telling people no. He is, but you know what? My husband is in his 60s, and that's what I always try to get him to see. It took you maybe it didn't take him time. I believe he kind of had some know in him in his 30s, but it's taking me time. But trust me, I'm getting there. Last night, I'm going to a wedding today. Shout out to the brides to be, going to a double wedding. Much love and blessings to y'all, the entire family. This day is going to be litty. But look, had to get my hair together last night, and my daughter-in-law was like, hey, can you take the grandgirl and dedicate it to my grandgirl. I want to show up for them. They're young parents. It's in me to be there for them. I want to. It makes me feel great to be there for my son and my daughter-in-law as they're on this journey of parenthood. But I said, y'all, I got a show to do in the morning. I'm here to I during the week felt bad. It was hard all night. Still thinking about, dang, heard my grandgirl crying and was like, dang, you didn't even help. But what I'm saying is, even though that felt some way towards me, because sometimes being in your process isn't going to feel. You want to tell some people no. You have to walk away from some things. You want to give up on some things you've been working on forever. You have to change some ideas you've been having your whole life. You have to subscribe to some thoughts you never thought you would subscribe to. But guess what? You're going to realize and be able to measure the moment based on what's happening. Because you're going to say, what I'm sad right now because of what I have to do, what I'm about to say, what I'm going to have to plan next. I'm feeling a challenge and a conflict because you don't feel conflict without change. It's literally what conflict is. One side of you wanting to do something else and something else being somewhere else. That's the conflict, right? So I'm at conflict, but it's because I'm changing. I'm at conflict. Thank you. You trying to make me proud. Don't stop it. She just messed me up. All right, best friend. I'm at conflict because my thoughts are changing. What I think is changing, the way I'm moving has got to change. And then when I look up, I'm just going to be changed. I know I've been changed, like that old spiritual. I know I've been changed because my thoughts are different. I'm moving different, so my moments are different and my moment is coming. So I am different because when I'm going through this measurement of, am I who I used to be? I don't even want to entertain. I seek counsel. I talk to people differently about what I'm doing. I hear differently because I'm changing. I seek differently. I try differently. I'm changing. My thoughts have changed. My movements have changed. And then I look at a different Harmony. Sometimes I look at this 36-year-old Harmony. I just was like, wow, I am like that 23-year-old Harmony would never have imagined this Harmony. The Harmony that got married at 18 and had 3 babies by the time I was in my early 20s, I would have never thought about this person. This person exists. This person who's good all on her own if she has to be. This strong person, this fearless person, this risk-taking person. Oh my gosh, I was such a scaredy cat. Everything by the book. I'm still kind of by the book in some ways, but where I have come have been in like, look, tune in to here, and the creator's gonna make all of here. But back in the day, it was all about here. It was about the image. It was about what people thought. It was about the seeing. It was about the, well, what? I'm scared of everything. But my moment that led to this very moment of me being on a moment of harmony, it didn't fall out the sky. The creator didn't just crack this open for 18-year-old Harmony, 25-year-old Harmony, not even 30-year-old Harmony. Didn't even just say here. I want you to have a platform for yourself where you grow yourself and you grow others doing what you were put here to do in the way that you were put here to do it. And then you're going to manifest your fortune from your mission, and you're going to manifest your greatness for your family. Your dreams for your husband, your dreams for your children are going to come from the dreams that you follow. But he didn't give it to me then. It came from those moments of letdown, moments of training, moments of trials and triumphs and falls, moments of mountains and valleys, mountain peaks and valleys. There were millions of moments, that got me to this moment that will get me to that moment. That will get me to that moment when I'll be like, y'all, let me tell you. You want to hear something? I was just watching Kenan and Kel. Y'all, it's on Netflix. Don't judge me. It's the nostalgia. But I was watching it and it got this, here it goes for all my Kenan and Kel fans. If y'all don't know nothing about it, forgive me. 90s, baby. Here it goes, right? And I'm just sitting there like, yes. I love it. But looking back on things like that, y'all, all that is also on Netflix, the nostalgia. But when you're looking back on those things, I watched the verses for the first time. But I'm just talking about how nostalgia works, right? Looking back on what was, how you thought things were, and what you were crazy about, and where you thought you were. And to look now, like, dang, look at Kel Mitchell now on Saturday Night Live. Kenan. Kel has a show too now, but Kenan Mitchell on, I might be mixing their names up, but Kenan is now on Saturday Night Live from all that and Kenan and Kel, right? That know what I'm talking about. Forgive me, roll with me if you know what I'm talking about. Roll with me for a second. I'm saying that the moment was made up of little moments that were full of lessons, that were full of trainings, that were full of people falling off and coming on, that were full of everything that you needed it to be full of. Disappointments, closed doors, trial and error. The moment is a matter of moments. It is a fruition, a process that happens. You measure how you are thinking, how you are moving, and who you are. I am someone else today. Not today. A couple of years ago, that would have flew. I'm excited about 40-year-old Harmony and 45-year-old Harmony. A little bit afraid of her too. Okay? But I am saying like, hey, the sky's the limit because my moment is happening. And now my moment is coming in this regard and in that regard and in this regard. One moment. And in this moment with that. Ding. Got this idea. Now I'm a millionaire. I saw this movie and now I want to quit this job. I don't want to whatever, that epiphany came on. I ate this and I tasted it and I got an idea. I had this conversation with my husband and now this is where we are. The epiphany, the epiphany moment that we think is going to bring that magical moment. An epiphany, epiphanies are evolutions based. Peace, mama. Hey, from your mouth to the creator's ears. Epiphanies are evolution based. When we think we get an epiphany and voila, we have this moment that we've been waiting on our whole lives. Because some of us won't move to another moment. We're in a moment that we were waiting on for this next moment. Rewind it back if you need to. Watch. Some of us won't move to the next moment because we're in a moment that we were waiting on for a long time. Your moments, the moment that you've been waiting on your whole life, is a matter of moments, and it also manifests into many more moments. I remember being young and all I wanted was an apartment. I swear it was the hardest thing to qualify for an apartment. I don't even think about apartments anymore. You know what I'm saying? I rent house, I go things I did not worry and that I feared about, that I trust the creator about now, that I have a reality about. Because when I got into my first apartment, it was the moment. It was the moment. When I got married for the first time, it was the moment. But what if I told you that there is no the moment in the way that we fantasize and romanticize the moment? What if I told you that epiphany is evolution based? And as long as you are growing and evolving, you have those huge moments that are going to continue to bring more and more magic to your life and your existence. But you have to be able to understand that it's not the moment, is not one moment. The moment is every moment in your life that unlocks another version of your divinity and brings you closer to your mission. The moment is every moment in your life that unlocks your divinity and brings you to another level of your divinity and the greatness of yourself, where you are and who you are needing to be in your life. So right now we're going to say, well, Mama Harmony said I'm in my moment because I'm thinking differently, I'm moving differently, and I am different. And then voila, get that phone call to that dream job. And look at this dream job. Or I get that certificate and now I'm a doctor or a lawyer. Look how hard I worked for it. And then all of a sudden, something like COVID can happen. And then I'm home with my family. And then I'm seeing something different. And then I have this moment that makes me want to be home more. That makes me want to work from home. The moment when my child says they don't know my middle name, or my child is not as far along as I thought they were academically. And I get this epiphany. Like, dang, you done made that $1 million, but you can't multiply. You can make money, but your child probably can't. Epiphany, right? And then you go like, dang, all my genius, all my time, everything is going somewhere else. Be entitled to your epiphanies. Just like you got that epiphany 4 years ago when you started college, there will be another epiphany because you are evolving. And epiphanies are evolution based. And epiphanies are how we get in these big moments. Don't be so stuck in one moment that you're not ready to go to another moment. So when we get into the thought processes, I'm waiting on that moment. I'm waiting on this moment. Know that you're not waiting on it. You're creating the moment. You're not waiting on the moment. You're creating on the moment. You're not waiting on the moment. You're creating on the moment. So I'm not waiting on, and then when I get that moment, like I use my beloved Tammy Brown. Look at where she is. First vegan, look at y'all, the first vegan cook show on the Food Network. She ain't started out on PBS. Homegirl is on the Food Network. Look at what she's had to go through. Natural hair and all on the Food Network teaching about vegan diets and eating. Listen, she probably thought her moment was that Whole Foods moment when we talked about earlier, when Whole Foods gave her that couple of $1 million contract to be an ambassador. She probably thought that that was her moment. If she thought that that was her moment, she'd be missing this moment. She'd be missing her clothing line debuting in Target. She'd be missing opening Kale My Name in multiple locations, a full-blown vegan restaurant. She'd be missing being the first vegan, all vegan cook show on the Food Network. I'm saying, don't get so caught up looking for the moment. The moments are what you are creating. There is your moment. The moment is always possible if you're always here and you're always moving. Your motion is your magic. Your magic is your manifest. Your motion is your magic. Your magic is your manifest. And that's going to happen as long as you are moving. When we're talking about the step of all anymore. The moment starts with the individual, the being. The moment starts with the being. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. I got y'all. I love you. I got to go get all find up so me and my husband can walk into this wedding looking like, hey, that elephant in that rhinoceros. I love y'all so much. I will see you next week for another moment of harmony. Saturday at 10. Please get those moment member inquiries. Get the moment member inquiries in. We would love to be meeting with you in person if you're in the DMV area, Baltimore, wherever you are, and you want to go beyond the virtual. Come on and join us in person. We're gonna have another moment coming up in July. You know where we are. I love you all so very much. This has been an incredible moment with you, and I'll see you next week.